The man who wasted time. Peter's regret. Peter was an ambitious young man with big dreams. He wanted to start his own business, travel the world, and become financially independent. But Peter had one major problem. He always thought he had more time. The illusion of later. In his early 20s, Peter often told himself, "I have plenty of time to work on my dreams. I'll start next month." Instead of focusing on his goals, he spent hours scrolling through social media, playing video games, and binge-watching TV shows. His friends would invite him to parties, and he never missed a night out. "I'll start working on my dreams later," he would say. Years passed, and Peter was still in the same place. He had ideas but never took action. He watched others around him progress. His friends started businesses, traveled, and built careers, but Peter remained stuck in the cycle of postponement. His old classmates spoke about their accomplishments. Some had started companies, others had families, and some were living their dream lives. Peter smiled, but inside he felt empty. He realized he was still talking about the same dreams he had at 20, but had done nothing to make them a reality. That night, Peter sat alone and thought, where did all the time go? He finally saw the truth. Time had never waited for him. Trying to catch up. Determined to change, Peter decided to start his business. But now things were harder. He had more responsibilities, bills to pay, and fewer opportunities. He worked late into the night, trying to make up for lost time, but the energy and excitement he once had in his 20s were gone. The world had moved forward, and he was just trying to keep up. One day, while scrolling through old messages, he saw a text from a friend from years ago. "Let's start this business together. We can build something great." Peter had ignored it back then, thinking he had time. That same friend was now a millionaire, living the life Peter had dreamed of. The final realization. At 50, Peter sat on a park bench, watching kids play. He whispered to himself, "If only I had started earlier." He had spent most of his life waiting for the right time, not realizing that the right time was always now. Though he still had life left to live, he knew he could never reclaim the years he had lost. He had learned the hardest lesson. Time is the one thing you can never get back. The lesson in Peter's story is a reminder to all of us. Don't wait for the perfect time to start. The perfect time is now. Whether it's chasing a dream, starting a new project, or spending time with loved ones, act before it's too late. Time doesn't stop, and neither should you. What you can do right now. Stop procrastinating. Whatever you want to do, start today. Prioritize what matters. Focus on goals, relationships, and growth. Avoid distractions. Say no to things that steal your time without giving value in return. Take action daily. Even small steps every day will lead to big results over time. You can't buy more time. No amount of money can buy even an extra second. That's why spending time on things that don't add value to your life, such as endless scrolling on social media, procrastination, or negative habits, is a loss you can never regain. Regret comes from wasted time. People often regret the time they wasted rather than the things they failed at. The moments you don't use wisely today might be the ones you wish you could get back in the future. Your time equals your life. Every minute you spend is a piece of your life. If you waste time, you are wasting life itself. But if you use time intentionally, learning, growing, creating, and loving, you create a life worth remembering.